lovelies, welcome back to the Code Chick. In today's video, I'll be helping you understand what exactly the World Wide Web is. It's vital for you to understand what the web is about, how the web works before you start your journey in web development. So by the end of this presentation, you'll be able to understand what the web is, the web versus the internet, what the web is made up of, how the web works, and how to navigate the web. Let's dive in. Is a collection of electronic documents linked together like a web. These documents are stored on computers called servers located around the world. The web has evolved into global electronic publishing and commerce medium. Now, is the internet the web? The answer is no. The internet is simply a subset of the web. The internet itself is a network of connected computers that the web works on, as well as what emails and files travel across. Whereas the World Wide Web, or web for short, are the pages you see when you're on a device and you're connected to the internet. The web is basically made up of your personal computer, a web browser or software to access the web, a connection to the internet or ISP service provider, servers to host the data, and routers as well as switches to direct the flow of data. How does the web work? First, web pages are stored on web servers located around the globe. Now, we use Uniform Resource Locator or URL of a web page to send a request to the server that hosts the page. This request is sent using a browser. Then the server transmits the web page to your computer and the web browser displays it on a screen. Now, this is a simple illustration. We have our web servers here. These servers contain data. So we look at the client as a device. This could be your phone or computer that is connected to the internet. So when you search the internet using a browser, your request is sent to the server. Then the server transmits the web page data back to your computer, and from here it is displayed on your browser. In the previous slide, we talked about a web page. What exactly is a web page? This is an electronic document written in a computer language called HTML. Now, HTML is a markup language, and web pages can contain text, graphics, audio, video, animations, and many more other features. Now, each page has a unique address, which we call a URL, which is a Uniform Resource Locator in full. Now, web pages are displayed in browsers. Examples of browsers, we have Chrome, Firefox, Opera, Safari, and many more others. Now, what is a website? Websites consist of one or more web pages. A collection of web pages is called a website. These web pages are related to a common theme, like an organization, a person, or business, or news outlet. The first page of a website is called the home page. From the home page, you can click links to access other pages on the site or other resources on the web. Now, how do we navigate to the web? There are three ways we can move around websites. Number one, by clicking a text link. An example of a text link is "Take me to Google." So let's just click on this link. Upon clicking the link, we realize that it redirects us to google.com. That is the number one way of accessing the web. The second way is clicking a hyperlinked graphic such as a button, photograph, or drawing. An example, we have an image right here. So when we click on this image, it takes us to wikipedia.org. So that means the page linked to that particular image is Wikipedia. Then number three is typing a URL of a web page in the location box, also known as the address field of your web browser. In this example, we are going to just open a new tab and then type a URL, for example, dailymonitor.co.ug. Now this is a URL of Daily Monitor, and we press enter. So once the URL is wrong, it takes us to a page not found. So the URL is monitor.co.ug. If you put in a wrong URL, just like before, it will take us to a wrong page. We have hyperlinks. Now, a typical example of a hyperlink was seen in the previous slide, where we saw a text linked to a page. So hyperlinks are text links that are usually underlined in a different color from the rest of the text. Let's go back to the previous slide and see. So this word "take me to Google" is a typical example of a hyperlink, because first thing is we see that it's a different color, secondly it's underlined, and then thirdly when we click on it, it takes us to google.com. So to determine if a graphic or a text is a hyperlink, you move your cursor over the image or the text. So let's go back again and demonstrate in the previous slide. So when we move our cursor to this link, what do we see here? First, we see that the cursor changes into a hand icon. You see that? From out, it's a normal cursor, and then when we move it here, it changes into a hand icon. Then number 2, we notice that on the left corner down below here, you will be able to see a URL to that particular page. A URL appears in a status bar at the bottom of your web browser, except in Safari. That's just what we have demonstrated. Now, web URLs. A URL indicates where the web page is stored on the internet. It stands for Uniform Resource Locator. It is nothing more than the address of a given unique resource on the web. Now, to access a particular web, you need to type a URL exactly for your browser to locate the desired web page. Otherwise, you'll find a wrong site or get an error message. URLs do not use backslashes. All slashes are forward slashes. An example, we have www.google.com. All the slashes are forward slashes. The same for this website, the same for Twitter, the same for that. So do not write your URLs with backslashes, otherwise you'll get to a wrong page. So examples of URL. Now you realize that here all the URLs start with HTTPS, World Wide Web, the domain name. How do we name URLs? URLs basically consist of the scheme. Example of URLs, we have https://fenn.com/about. This is the about us page, fenn.com. Then we have https www.google.com. Now nowadays www is optional. As you can see, the first one does not have it, but the second one does have it. Now, what is HTTPS? It stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. It is a secure version of HTTP, which is the primary protocol used to send data between web browsers and websites. The key difference between HTTP and HTTPS is that one of the two is encrypted. That is the HTTPS. It provides an SSL certificate or TLC certificate to secure communication between the server, whereas HTTP does not have to encrypt the data. So, in the anatomy of the URL, www indicates the page on the World Wide Web. As I mentioned, www nowadays is optional. Then we have the domain name, that is fenn.com. This, and it includes a top level domain, which is a .com, which indicates the name of the company, university, organization. So it could be .com, .org, .ug, that is like a country of origin, .en, .biz, .store, depending on what the business is all about. Now from this particular example, we see that it has a / followed by about. Now in this case, this about is simply the directory or folder on the web server that contains a group of related web pages within the website. So let's click on this link and see where it takes us. So this about us page will take me directly to about. Battery is running low. Let's wind up. Summary: www is a way of exchanging information, and also the web is pages you see when you're on a device and you're online, but the internet is a network of connected computers that the web works on. There are three main ingredients that make up the web: the URL, HTTP, and HTML, that is a markup language which formats pages containing hyperlinks. If you have any questions, comment down below or reach out to me on Twitter, Fennycodes. See you in the next video.